You're ignoring free money, not because you're careless, not because you're bad with money, but because it's hiding in plain sight. Inside the seam was $1,000. Jenny sold her pocketbook online for $5. It was a nice bag, clean, still in style. She had carried it for 5 years. She knew every pocket, every zipper, every seam, or so she thought. 2 days later, the buyer sent her a message. Did you know there was money sewn inside the lining? Jenny laughed at first. Then the buyer sent a photo. Inside the seam, folded tight, $1,000. Jenny had walked around with that bag for years. She carried it to work. She carried it on vacation. She even complained about not having money while holding money. How did she miss it? The seam was always there. She just never looked inside. That's the story of acres of diamonds. Russell Conwell told it over 100 years ago. A farmer sold his land. He heard about diamonds in distant lands, so he chased them. He left his farm behind. Then, the man who bought the farm found diamonds in the soil, right where the first man had been standing. The diamonds were not far away. They were under his feet. Now pause, because this isn't about a handbag, and it isn't about a farm. It's about your paycheck. Most employees chase raises. They chase promotions. They chase side hustles. They chase bigger numbers. But they ignore the money already sitting inside the seam of their W-2 form. They ignore employer matching. They ignore health savings accounts. They ignore education benefits. They ignore what is already offered. Okay, so free money. What is that? Let's make this real. You work hard. You get paid. You contribute 3% to your retirement plan. Your employer matches up to 5%. And you tell yourself, I'll increase it next year. But you don't. Free money lives in that 2% gap. That's money sitting in the seam. If you earn $80,000, 2% is $1,600. $1,600 per year. Matched. That's $3,200 total. Every year. Without working one extra hour. Without asking for a raise. Without launching a side business. And yet most people ignore it. Why? Because it feels small. Because it's quiet. Because it doesn't feel exciting. It doesn't look like hustle culture. It doesn't look like a new car. It doesn't look like a promotion announcement. But over 10 years, $1,600 per year, invested, compounded, matched? Now we're talking tens of thousands. That is how you save faster. Not by grinding harder. By capturing what's already yours. And it's not just retirement match. Let's talk about the HSA. If you have access to a health savings account and you qualify, that account is powerful. You can contribute pre-tax money. It grows. It can be invested. It can be used later. Many employees treat it like a medical checking account. They spend it immediately. But if you can afford to pay small medical bills out of pocket and let the HSA grow, that becomes another seam in your pocket hiding money. Same paycheck, same job, different save faster by design. And what about education benefits? Some employers offer tuition reimbursement, certification support, skill stipends, but employees chase raises instead of leveraging the tools that increase their earning power for free. It's all under your feet, and most people don't look. Now here's the twist. You might say, okay, that's nice, but I already contribute something. Good, but are you intentional, or are you contributing by default? Most employees filled out their retirement options during onboarding. You were nervous, and you don't know what you don't know. Plus, you had 10 other forms to complete, so you checked boxes and picked numbers, never to revisit that stuff again. That's not fire design. That's let me get through this. The same thing happens with withholding. The same thing happens with benefits. The same thing happens with contributions. The seam exists, but no one opens it. Now imagine if Russell Conwell were alive today. Imagine he had access to AI. Imagine he told you, before chasing distant diamonds, ask better questions about your current land. You could use a simple prompt like, I earn $40,000. I contribute 3% to retirement. My employer matches up to 5%. If I increase my contribution to capture the full match, how does that affect my long-term savings over 10 years? And then AI could easily show you. It would show you the gap. It would show you the compounding. It would show you the opportunity. It will show you what you are leaving behind. Not just excitement from reading a book, but real numbers, real perspective. That's the modern acres of diamonds. You don't need complex tax strategies. You need to find clarity. Now, how does this work with your FIRE mentality? Financial independence is not about extreme sacrifice. It's about designing savings speed with what you already have. Speed comes from savings rate. Savings rate improves when you capture free money first. And the employer match increases your effective return instantly. So you contribute 5%. They add 5%. That's a 100% return on that portion of your savings. There is no stock market that guarantees that. No crypto trade. No side hustle. Just a growth mindset. You want to save faster? Start with what is already available. Then layer on the HSA. Then review education benefits. Then review stock purchase programs if available. Then review insurance optimization. One by one, you are not adding new income. You are extracting hidden income. And here's the deeper lesson. Most people are not broke. They are unoptimized. They are distracted. They are comparing themselves to hustle culture. They see six-figure months online. They see luxury watches. They see travel reels. So they assume the answer is more income. But sometimes the answer is better design. That's less glamorous, but more powerful. Remember Jenny? She thought the bag was worth $5 because that's what she saw. But inside the seam was $1,000. You might think your job is just a job, but inside the seam of that job, there may be thousands per year in match, thousands in tax-advantaged growth, thousands in unused benefits. The farmer left his land. He sold it. He chased diamonds far away. But the diamonds were in the soil he walked on daily. Your soil is your W-2, your benefits package, your contribution elections, your paycheck design. Before chasing another job, before chasing another hustle, before chasing another credential, ask, have I extracted the diamonds already here? Have I maxed the match? Have I reviewed my HSA? Have I leveraged education benefits? Have I aligned my paycheck with my goal? Because FIRE doesn't require you to become someone else. It requires you to be intentional with what you already have. This accelerates savings without lifestyle sacrifice. You don't need to cut coffee. You don't need to sell your car. You don't need to move cities. You need to open the seam. And here's the irony. When you capture the free money first, your stress drops. Your savings rise. Your timeline shortens. Then if you choose to pursue more income, you do it from strength, not from pressure. That's different energy. That's control. That's design. The lesson of Acres of Diamonds is simple. The wealth you seek may already be under your feet. The question is whether you are willing to examine the ground you're standing on. Start with the match. Start with the HSA. Start with the benefits already offered. Start chasing more income that's already under your feet. And if this helped you think differently about your paycheck, hit subscribe. We're building faster paths to financial independence here, one seam at a time.